你跟他们讲，如果他们 OK 的话，你就去；如果他们说怕管理不了那么多人，你就不要去。
没有，好，
就是基本上你们这个的参与度我是不涉及太多的。
而且我觉得这些其实这个内容虽然简单，但是真老师也许时间也是有一定。
对啊，所以前面就是要去那么多次啊。哦，
更亲密一点，还是更不来听。
嗯
要不肯定看不懂。
，OK，
好，
好。ESA，对，没有，然后要赛事或者圈什么，你就当，因为现在那个主持人会跟我讲，然后对，然后我再把 message 发上去，但是如果你当时这个负责人跟你讲，然后你可能开一个群，把东西都发在那个群。没关系，没关系。那我就把你的WeChat给那个。OK，好。Andrea、Autumn、靜海、Rochelle、Daniel、Esther、Eva、Gabriel、Posey、Jason、Kiki、Lay、Leo、Malone、Natalie、Olivia、Paris、Priscilla、Roland、Shelley、Silence、Wendy、Emilia、Mitsuki、Sevilla、Sana、 Ilya, Iliana, and Bianca. Okay, so before everything start out, I know your credit card start soon, so I just want to remind you, for the assessment, okay, how to calculate the score. First one, the whole credit card will worth 30% of your monthly pay, okay? And how to calculate that 30%? First, actually, you can find it online on Google. First one, activity loss. That means that the table that you need to organize and start every month, okay? And activity loss, 4 times. Each of you at least needs to attend 4 times, okay, for your credit card. And each time you will receive a form. Secretly, you organize will come to your performance, and then each time you can get 2.5 score in the highest. Okay, that you may not get a score, but the organizer will tell you secretly, okay, each time. And that means if you participate 4 times and you get for every time, and you can get 10%. Okay, and at the same time, if you participate extra, okay, more than 4 times, for example, participate 6 times, and then you can keep signing on the activity log. And keep doing it, and then we will keep the maximum score of 5 extra percent. That means at the end, if you participate more than 4 times, you have some possibility to get more than 10. So at the end, remember, how can we 2.5 score? How can we evaluate first? The organizer will tell me performance, they will give you the point. Second, I will have a look on your activity log. At the end, you need to submit your activity log to me, and you need to write down the things that you have done every time. I will see your look at your writing on the activity log, and at the end will calculate 2.5 times. So these 2.5 include your performance and also your writing on the activity log. And then second, at the end, I think after the credit card, I can't remember when you need to submit the. Wait a minute. Oh yes. 2 weeks after the last credit card, okay? That means, for example, if you have finished your the last day of your credit card, the last time you submit the pay, okay? For example, the last day is the 1st of May, and when you need to submit the expired 16th of May, okay? 2 weeks, 15th, sorry. 15th of May, 2 weeks after your last night. So it may be different among all of you because every one of you may participate in different times, different days. So the submission date is different. Okay. So the deadline is for all of you. So remember, after 2 weeks, you need to submit on our personal things. We need to upload it, and at the same time, we need to print it out. So the hard copy is printed out, but at least you need to submit it 2 weeks after the last press. And the last one, performance, 5%. After the event is finished, I will ask the organizer about your performance. You can also repeat that again and put on the whole package. Okay? And we will grade you from 1 point to 5 points. This is the last one. So at the end, for the representative, each group. For VR group, if you have any questions about the working guidelines, please contact Gabriel with directly contact the organizer. And for the next group, please contact Esther will deliver the message to you and also through Esther you contact the organizer. Because I don't want the organizer and each of your right? Problem. So Gabriel and Esther will be the representative for your connection.
So and then you can see how I grade you this time. I'm only grading in the report. So I don't want to involve too much for your marks in the practical because I'm not anticipating all the time. We know you involve in the practical is the organizer. So the organizer mainly responsible for part of the part. I only read your report and grade your report. Mainly where your score comes from is the organizer. So I think it's like a trial version for your internship history. So you can have trial this time first. Okay. Okay, good. Understand what I mean. Okay, let me ask some of you to translate into Chinese. Emilia, can you translate what I said to them in Chinese? 用中文来读，刚刚 OK， 我感觉这边了，怎么办？就是每一次，大家。Okay. So remember, it doesn't mean that you participate 4 times and you can get 10. No, right? It depends on your performance. The organizer will tell me to grade you your performance every time. Okay. It doesn't mean you participate 4 times and you can get 10. No, okay. But you can see if you participate more, you have higher possibility to get higher. Okay. Second one, report. Bullet. Use Chinese to translate what you said. Okay, good. Yeah, I was always grade your report, so I hope this assessment will not be subjective. Okay, it's graded by result. So half of them they will grade by the organizer. So any questions for the question? Because I think it sounds very good. If you have any questions about the arrangement, okay, about the setting and the arrangement for the practical, please contact the representative. But if you have any questions for the work, okay, for the project, contact me directly. Don't ask the organizer about the assessment, about the report, not right, or no, they don't know. So about the work, please ask me. They don't know about the setting and arrangement. Okay. So I hope you all enjoy the practical and yeah, takes as many photos as you can. Because if you can do more photos in the report, then I'll probably be better. I mean, there will be a space for you to get more than that. Okay? For example, if you participate 8 times, okay, but every time you get only 1 point, then it doesn't mean that you can take it. Okay? There will be an extra space for you to get extra points. Yes, it will be 35.
Okay, if no questions, then we will start the lecture of today. You can find the details, okay? I have already given you the guidelines on how to write the report. You can answer the questions here and then around 600 to 800 words for the report, okay? So you please refer to the guidelines and there will be a detailed instruction for you if you're not clear about it. So at the same time, yeah, also project, you can find it here. So For Monday, we start the topic about creative industry, creativity, society, and also heritage. So for last week, we have discussed about what is the relationship between heritage and creative industry. How can we use creative industry in preserving cultural heritage? So for today, we will get into another topic, which is creative tourism. So at the first beginning, of course, we need to give you a definitions and clear image of what is creative tourism. For creative tourism, that means we will have a redesigning non-interactive mode. That means for normal tourism, we are non-interactive, 冇互動嘅，沒有互動的。But for creative tourism, we will develop more interactive elements for the activities. For example, festival, cultural roots, museum, and cultural heritage in an interactive role. You may ask, for heritage tourism, for cultural tourism, they are also looking at this element. Okay, they are sharing the same element. But for creative tourism, we are using this element with an interactive role by adding some engaging experience between the visitor and local population. So it is quite different with normal tourism because for creative tourism, we try to add some interactive activity to link up the visitor and also the populations. And then here is the definitions for creative tourism by UNESCO. And that participative learning. We are not only talking about experience for creative tourism, but at the same time, participative learning. 參與式學習, just like your predicum. You are participate in the activity, at the same time you are learning something. So this is about participative learning. And what is tourism here? Of course, reside in this place. You need to live at that place. If you are not living at that place, it is not a creative tourism. Okay, remember all of the elements are mentioned here by UNESCO. So what is the difference between creative and also cultural tourism? For creative tourism, we focus on creative experience, participation-based, and authentic and unique experience. That means if different people visit ruins of St. Paul differently, then they will receive different experience. Each of you receive different experience for the same spot. Okay, although some of you may go to the same attraction, same place, but you will receive different experience. Okay, and then sometimes the dissatisfaction with the lack of interaction between host and guest. So you can see the pictures here. For cultural tourism, they are more like sightseeing. 去觀光嘅，觀光的, okay, have a look on something. But for creative tourism, you are involving, doing something in the tourism. So this is the main difference between creative and cultural tourism. And then if you participate in creative tourism, you will have an active role. You are actively participate, okay? 主動去參與嘅，主動去參與的。And then we focus for creative tourism, we also focus on the sustainable based on local resources. They try to use the local material, but not buying the things from some international brand. No, okay, what they use is from the local resources. Okay, mark a star here. It is very important to remember, okay, especially in the examination, remember what is the differences between creative and also cultural tourism. For cultural tourism, there it will be a list, okay, inventory. That means list a table of cultural resources. That means what you can see or what you can go, okay, where you can go, what you can see. They are the cultural resources, 文化資源, okay, like some artifacts, building, museum, and monuments. That where you can go and what you can see. This is cultural tourism. But for creative tourism, also we will have an inventory, but it is an inventory of local skills and imaginative approach. That means what you can do. Okay, 你可以做啲乜？你可以做什么 ？Okay, but for cultural tourism is what you can see and what you can go. Okay, so it is quite different. For cultural tourism, somehow you are in a passive way, 被动的. You are going to somewhere and then look at something. But when you are in a creative tourism, then you are going somewhere to do something. Okay, so it is the main difference between creative and cultural tourism. And then why do we need to conduct creative tourism? Why we need creative tourism? Of course, it can benefit a lot for the community. Okay, empower community member in leading sustainable tourism and development, especially for the young generation. So you can see the pictures here. They are doing creative tourism. For the visitor, they are having interaction with the local residents, especially like some farmer, some original producer, etc. At the same time, we encourage the visitors to have some interaction with young generation. This is the most important. Connects the visitor to the local neighborhood, to the local community, grab them to have some interactions with the community. So this is examples for the creative tourism, for the forest. Okay, 森林. How can they do creative tourism? They have different sectors like local community who are involving in the tourism. Local community, operator, tourism organization, or forest conservation department. So the whole community is participate in the tourism. Okay. And then at the same time, apart from connecting the visitor with the local, we also need to build up the sustainable tourism. 可持續旅遊, 可持續旅遊. So again, these three circles, I hope you still remember: social, environment, and economic. What is sustainable tourism? First one, social variables dealing with community, education, equity, social resources, etc. So if you combine social and economic together, that means the economic resources can go to the society. Then the community will become equitable. That means fair, 公平. Because all of the economic resources can go to the society, then it will be equitable, fair, 公平. And then, how about environment? Environment sustainability, that means environmental variables relating to conservation of natural resources. 自然環境嘅保育, 自然環境的保育. So, if the economic resources goes to the environment, then it can be very viable. That means 可行, 可行, workable. And then, how about environment and also social? You can imagine when the society goes to the environment heavily. Okay, we bring a lot of visitors to the environment every day in a huge amount. Then the environment may not able to afford that amount of visitors. Then, if we can control how many members from the society goes to the environment, then we can create a variable of the environment. 可承受, 可承受. Okay, so that means if we fulfill the requirements from these three aspects, then we can create a sustainable tourism. So these are the three aspects, and we focus a lot on sustainable tourism. We want to make the tourism for a long-term development. Okay, if we do not control the economic development, if we do not control the environmental development, then we will threat the environment. Okay, that will make the tourism very short term. Maybe after 10 years, the environment was destroyed and we cannot afford any tourists anymore. So this is the result of sustainable tourism. So what are the characteristics of creative tourism? Like visitor and host each engaging to others. That means there is a very small border between visitor and host. Okay, each of them they can engage to each other. It is easy to find out the host, and also it is easy to grab with the visitor. The connection is easy to build up. And then cross-cultural engagement. That means we will have some interactions on the experience. For example, you can see the picture just now. The visitor work with the locals together and create some cross-cultural engagement, 跨文化嘅接觸，跨文化的接觸。And then hands-on experience, we are not just standing beside and then look at the what locals do. But at the same time, we are doing some hands-on experience. The visitor or the tourist also need to use their hand to participate in the experience. Again, just like this picture, the visitor need to participate in the farming. Okay, so this is about hands-on experience. Number 4, spirit of place, deep meaning, understanding of specific cultural features of the place. That means the visitor also need to know about the values of the place. Why the place is important, what the residents care about, then the visitor also need to know about. Last one, number 5, exchange on information. Sometime when the visitor visit a place, they may bring some new information. Okay. How do they live from the hometown? At the same time, when they are having interaction with the local residents, then they may have been exchange for information. Okay. So this is very important. For example, when you are doing a tour with the guys from like in Japan, okay, then when you have interaction, you exchange the experience between you and the visitor. It's very important. Okay. Learn from each other and exchange the information. And then number 6, more participants and observer. That's mean when you are in a creative tourism, then more likely you are the participant, but not the observer. What is the difference between participant and observer? Anyone? What is the difference between participant and observer? Anyone? Xavier? Mm-hmm. Yes, exactly. So for participant, that's mean you are joining the activity as a member. Okay, but sorry. But if you are the observer, you just stand beside and look what is happening. You are not in as a member within the activity. Wait a minute. So for creative industry, for creative tourism, you will be the participant more than an observer. Number 7, authenticity in both process, product, and genius experience. And authenticity in Chinese means 真实性, 真实性. So that's mean what you are doing should be real. It is not in a fake environment, it is not in a fake setting, but at the same time you are participating in a real environment. For example, you are not participating in a fake festival, okay, but you are really joining the celebration for the local residents together. It is not a fake environment. And then tailor-made approach, 量身打造, okay. 度身訂造 tailor-made approach. That means for different visitors, you arrange different activity for them. And then number 9, decision or making process goes to the tourist. And last one, create a memorable experience and concept to the visitors. Okay, so these 10 are the characteristics of creative tourism that you may need to follow when you are planning, when you are doing your planning. So how does creative industry, okay,
involved in creative tourism. We can divide the whole of the products. Okay, when you are going to creative tourism, then of course you will enjoy some products. What kind of product we have for creative tourism? We can divide into two sectors. The first one, creativity as a factor, and creativity as an activity. What does it mean? Of course, if you are going to, no matter your participating in normal tourism or creative tourism, it doesn't matter which one you go, you always need to do something, right? But for creative, you participate in creative tourism, so you buy. So that's right. So you define. Second, in the itinerary, you will have some attraction, right? Some creative attraction, for example, market, the creative market, creative shop. Okay? The place that you go or that you see is quite different from the normal food. And these are the actual products that you can have. How about activity? What kind of physical activity you can have? For example, we will have tasting, like experience, open and telling. For example, when you go to the white museum, okay, red one museum, so if you are in creative tourism, you will have the opportunity to take that one. But if you are in a normal tourism, you will just have the opportunity to see. Yes, no tasting experience. So this is the main difference between creative tourism and normal tourism. The last one, learning workshop and important. You may have some opportunity to take workshops that you are solving, like maybe we have together before. So this is an activity that you can enjoy and then you can learn from. So there are two main products. The one is that you can buy it as an actual product. The second one is the activity. These are the elements in which I am okay. After introducing what is creative tourism, then there is a 3S principle. Okay, what is involved in creative tourism? After we know the definition is like this, then what should we prepare for creative tourism? For 3S, that means sense, sophistication, and story. I will explain it one by one with you. The first one we are going to talk about is story. Story here, how to design evaluating story, elevating story with which could captivate the audience and create inspiration for the visitor better. That means when you are planning for a creative tourism, okay, like a package for creative tourism, the first one you need to find out is the insightful story. For example, when the visitor comes to Macau, you need to find what kind of story, what kind of thing, what kind of information you want to tell them. And for the first day stories, yeah, that means try to find out some interesting story, creative story that you want to tell about to them. And what you want to tell. Like from the unique local cultural event, elevating story inspiration for the visitor. Remember, the information from the story that you provide should be inspired for the visitor. So, remember, we have learned about interpretation and try to find out the best way to tell your story. Although many of you may tell the same story, but you will have different forms to tell your story, right? If you're a boring guy, then you may have an interesting method to tell a story. If you retake some subject, then you may know, although different teachers will teach the same course, but different teachers may have their own style to teach the course. If you retake the course, then you will know. Okay, so try to find the best way for you to tell the story, and then the story should be authentic, 真实, okay, and unique, 真实 and unique.
And we are not looking for the standardization. Remember, for creative tourism, we are not trying to formalize 统一 your story, your telling method. We are not controlling you like this. But at the same time, try to find out your best story and also your own method or style to present your story. So now we will use it task 1 because following the 3 steps here, you will have some discussion on 3S. Okay, at the end, you need to create your own creative tourism package to your classmate today. So now please separate your desk and move it to your group projects group. Okay, and then I will give you a few minutes. Okay, because it's task 1 only. Imagine you are organizing a creative tour about Hong Kong cuisine, 香港嘅飲食, okay, 香港的飲食. What kind of story you want to tell the audience? Okay, this is step 1, stories. Find one piece of information or one story that you want to tell the tourists about Hong Kong cuisine. Okay, now please separate your desk with your final group project members, sit together and try to find one story first. Okay, keep it in mind, or you can jot it down first. When we finish the 3 tasks, then we will I will give you some time to do your presentation, okay, to all of your classmates. Okay, a small presentation. So yes, you can move the chair, move your seat now, and then I'll finish this task 1 in 5 minutes. So that's mean 12:40. Okay, move your desk now and then try to do some research. We want to create a tour about Hong Kong cuisine. Okay, the theme, okay, 主题 is Hong Kong cuisine. Try to find one interesting story that you want to share with your visitors. Okay, move your chair now, 5 minutes. Final group projects group. At the end of today, you need to sell your package to us. Okay. Hong Kong cuisine. 人肉叉烧包 but 澳门 or dumplings. Yeah. So now you can download the worksheets, okay, exercise. Download the exercise from Moodle, and then you can find the tables here. And then the first stage you need to finish is try to think of the story. Okay, we are working in the first stage here. For example, you need to tell me what is the thing. For example, you want to tell about dumpling. Okay, find one target first. Okay, for example, dumpling, char siu bao. Okay, char siu bao. Then tell me the story. For example, about the murderer 凶杀案. Okay, find a target first and then briefly introduce the story. Okay, so you can think 1 to 2 targets. Okay, for fear you have the same target with your classmate. Think of 1 or 2. Okay, please download the document and then fill it first. You are not telling the food only, but find out some interesting story behind. Okay. 饺子，婴儿饺子没有，但是里面什么三？你打游戏吗？ It doesn't matter. It's interesting, right? But remember, later on you will have the senses 感觉. Okay. For example, you are let the audience taste the Remember, this is just the first step. Okay, think about the story you want to tell.
For example, like they want to share about me, then you can share maybe 3 years ago, I put up with my girlfriend, we saw, and this is how it goes. It can be the story of your own.
Okay, so let's continue first. Later I'll give you some more time. So the first task, okay, if you are planning a creative tour, then you need to think about story. How about the second one? You need to think about the method. Okay, there are two methods. Okay, in the table, okay, then you need to find the form, right? See the form here. There are two forms then you can use. The first one, guide. Yeah, you can find the form here, and then you need to tell me which form you are going to use. The first form is guided interpretation. That means there is somebody as a leader or as a guide, okay, to teach you, to tell you what is happening. So this is guided interpretation. There is somebody, okay, the tour guide, a reader, or the workshop teacher. There is a person lead the whole activity, okay. Accompany the visitor, conducts the interpretive program with personal and direct. Okay, very direct. I tell you the story. Okay, this is guided interpretation. And why we need to do so? Because it can protect the visitor and your resources. It can make sure the visitor can get your story. Okay, because I tell you, I guide you, I teach you. So I can ensure you are following the same track with me. Number 4, but however, high quality program, it takes time to prepare, right? If you are guided on your own, then you need to have a very detailed plan, etc. It takes time, okay? Oppositely, the second method is self-guided interpretation. That means there is no people guiding you, no people guiding you. The audience or the participant need to find out the story on their own. For example, this is example for last year practicum. They give this is the festival about home shop, about home shop, and then the organizer provide a map for the participants. Okay, and what do they do? The audience needs to hold the map and then find out the home shop for their own. And when they find out the home shop, they need to have a shop. Okay. So there is no tour guide in the tour, but the visitor can still find out the story in the package. This is called self-guided teaching. And then the difference between guided and self-guided. So for self-guided interpretation, you need to contain signs, displays, installation, dioramas, booklet, audio tapes, etc. So at the same time, the organizer provide audio tape, 錄音, 錄音, okay? They can listen to the audio and get some tips for the maps. And then for self-guided interpretation, they have more freedom because the audience can, for example, I want to go to this shop first, and then after we follow the route here. But some of the audience, they want to jump from 1, 2, 3, they are not following the routes. So there will be more freedom for the audience. And then, do you need staff? Actually, maybe not. Okay, you just need the staff to design the program, and during the tour, you don't need the staff because they will go on their own. And then the cost is minimal because you need less staff. 你需要少咗員工 ，OK？ 你需要少一點員工 ，so you can minimize the staff. Understand? So later on, you also need to tell me which method you are going to use. Okay, guided or safe guided. Okay, and then yeah, for guided and safe guided, please fill it here. Okay, for example, I'm organizing Charles Bao tour. Okay, Charles Bao tour. Then it should be a self-guide interpretation, etc. Okay. And then number 2, senses. Remember, for creative tourism, we are not just telling the story. Okay, we are not. I'm Kelvin. Today I want to share the story with you about Charles Bao. This is not creative tourism. For creative tourism, we need to involve 5 senses. 五感, 五感. That means vision, your eye, hearing, ear, smell, your nose, taste, your mouth, and touch, your hands. Okay, so when you are designing the activity or designing your form of the tour, then it should be include 5 senses. For example, here you can see the examples. If we talk about dim sum in Hong Kong, then we will involve 2 elements like taste. What do you do? Tasting dim sum. Let the tourist, let the visitor eat the dim sum. Okay, then this is taste. Number 2, touch. We will let the audience make the dim sum. Make the dim sum, that means using hand, and this is touch. Okay, try to think of some activity relates to the 5 senses. Okay, so what does it mean here? Participative fun learning experience with depth of understanding and share experience with cultural knowledge with 5 senses. Remember, when we are using 5 senses, normally it will be more interesting because you are really touching it, you are really tasting it. So it will be more interesting and give an in-depth of understanding. They can learn more about it. So let's have a look on the video. This is examples for using 5 senses. You make the tile on your own. You make the china on your own. So during the tour, you are not only looking at it, but at the same time, you are going to taste it. Okay, really tasting it. Sorry. Yeah, tasting, making, participating in activity together. Okay, so this is about 5 senses. So before you keep discussing with your groupmate, here is exercise. Can you find what senses are applied here? Okay, remember just now we talked about 5 senses. And in this tour, this is a tour package, okay? What senses they use in this tour package? Okay, so have a look first. Then if you find which sense they use, raise up your hand. Okay. There are 2. There are 5 senses we have just mentioned, okay? Have a look on this paragraph and see which senses they use here. Okay, there are 2 senses they apply. Maybe tell me one. Where you can find it? Yes. Yes. Taste and also touch. Okay. Taste the snack soup, 蛇汤, 蛇汤. Okay. The offering, and then explore the spice store. Spice store, that mean 香料店, 香料店. Okay. Then you can smell the spice. So this is some setting, some interesting activity that you can use 5 senses. So now again, 5 minutes more, try to develop 3 activities in the tour that can apply 5 senses experience according to the story you collected. Okay, so what you can find here, I'll give you some examples. You need to tell me which sense you are using first, and then tell me what activity they are doing, what they are going to do with the sense. Okay, for example, I use taste, then they can taste the dim sum, and then they can touch. That means they can make the dim sum. Okay, select 3 or 2 or 3 senses, then design an activity for your story. Okay, another 5 minutes, then we will stop the discussion at 12:55. Okay, please start.
Very creative.
But you didn't show your idea to the class. I think you still need to show us.
Just from highlights.
Yes, some highlights. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Let's see.商场要掉虾饺下来。Okay, so last step. Okay, after you have the story, after you have the activity, how can you make it very detailed? So this will be the last step of our sophistication. Okay, so so what you should do, first one, you need to think about the expression of the creativity over visitor the opportunity to develop their creative potential. You are not design all of the activity, but at the same time, try to leave some spaces for them, okay, to do what they want. Leave some spaces for their creativity. It is not only about your creativity, but at the same time, leave some space for them. Identify the branding message, communicate with the unique, and implement the continuous improvement. What does it mean? That means you need to think about place where you are going to do it. Yeah, location where you are going to do it. Audio script, okay, compose the storytelling, and last one, props. What you need for the workshop, for the activity. I have translated into the words here. For example, after you think about which sense you are what activity you are going to do and the sense that you are going to use, then tell me the location and the props. Okay, location, that's mean where you are going to organize it. Props, okay, what kind of material you need for your activity. Okay, so this is the stage for sophistication. Make your idea, okay, from story to sense into actual practice. So the last stage will be sophisticated. That means you need to narrow it down, make it practical. Okay, so this is what I'm going to tell you, and then let me finish this the last session. Then I'll give you some more time for your discussion. Okay, so the last session of today is about planning. We will skip this graph and I will directly go to the case for you. There is a company. Also, one of your classmates before they he went to this company for their internship in Hong Kong, work in Hong Kong. It is quite interesting because this company they create a lot of creative tools. Okay, and what they create, you can see the mission of the company. They have wonderful storytelling. Okay, they have a lot of interesting story. As long as they provide an interesting storytelling service to you. And then you will have history lessons into memorable experience. Otherwise, be dry history lessons. Okay. Apart from the normal practice of telling a lot about history, the story to you, they create the tool with memorable experience. And then transcend into real and virtual world. So they use the story and pack it into the actual practice and create a memorable experience to the visitors. Okay, so there is an inventory of local culture, tangible, both tangible and intangible. So they try to search for the local culture and create an inventory, create a list for them, and look at which resource or which culture then we can use for the tour. Then they will catch the elements and create it following the 3 steps before we have mentioned and create a package to the visitors. So here is a video from their company. Let's have a look and see what they provide.
Welcome to Hong Kong. 歡迎，歡迎。Hong Kong not only karaoke. Come sing and dance together. Very, very fun.
My sleep, Mama. My sleep and patient. Very happy song. Very good, guys. People call me my Celine. No, very good. 又靚到飛起。
I really like every detail of the city, and I hope that you can feel the beauty of Hong Kong through my drawings.
貓叫 cat， 床叫 bed， 我咁肥叫做 very bad， 係識咁多英文嘅咋 ？Not all. Translation. This.
So in the video, you can see they try to search for different story, different elements in Hong Kong, okay? And then they will have a list. After that, when they need to create a package, then they will see on the list which material or which element then we can use. And afterward, they will use this element to create a tour for their visitors.
What?
So anything, okay? Remember, for creative tourists may wish to learn about a lot of everything. Okay, they want to learn about everything in the city, includes the authentic experience, creative products, local skills, expertise, and tradition. Remember, for creative tourists, they are always open to any story, anything. Okay, they want to learn anything from you. So this is a case that I did in Hong Kong. They are trying to create a workshop in primary school. Okay, then the primary school students try to learn how to make a flower board, 花牌, traditional techniques in Hong Kong. So they are trying to learn about these old skills and old techniques. And then if you have a look on the company website, then you can find what they provide. A unique plot, okay, unique plots in what are the content, like history, like character, building, industry, tradition, blah, blah, blah. They provide a lot of themes, 主題, and topics, makes the community unique, make Hong Kong unique. They want to dig out what is unique to Hong Kong, what kind of story, what kind of building is unique to Hong Kong, and then make it into a tour with a themes. Okay, 主题. Themes here, it doesn't mean char siu bao or milk tea you mentioned, but you need to give a name to make the tour interesting. Okay, for example, good evening Kowloon. So good evening Kowloon, then according to the name, then you should know where does the tour goes to. Where does the tour go? Good evening Kowloon. Where does the tour go? Where is the place? Kowloon. Okay. Then when is the tour organizing? Evening. Okay. So this is a good name. When you look at the name, then you should know what is going to happen directly. Another time is Hill Town Charm Food and Culture Tour in Sai Ying Pun. So where is it? Sai Ying Pun. Okay. What you are going to do? Food and Culture Tour. Last one, marketing Hot Pink Food Tour in Kowloon. Again, in Kowloon, and what you are going to do, Hot Pink Food. Okay, 街市檔. So these are the themes that they provide you. Actually, you can have a look on their website. A lot of interesting tour. And then they need to have some selling points. Like live like a local, 好似一般市民一樣，好像一般市民一樣. So you will become a temporary citizens or mobile consumers. 短期嘅居民，暫時嘅居民，暫時嘅居民. So you need to think some gimmick, design some slogan for your tour package. Okay, like live like a local or temporary citizens. There are some gimmick, 噱頭, okay, for your tour. At the same time, you need to have different experts from your team. So you can see this is a structure in their team. They have some project manager. At the same time, they have guides. You can see the guides here, they are in different groups of age, maybe some elderly, teenagers in different occupations. So it is quite interesting that a group should be diversified, 多樣性的, okay? If all of the team members, okay, they are come from the same background, then you may have no creative idea. Okay, try to make a group in a different or in a diversified background. This is Oscar. Okay, this guy very famous in Hong Kong. My supervisor when I was an internship 10 years, 12, 10, 8 years ago. Okay, when I worked in Hong Kong for the internship, he was my supervisor, and he is also now one of the important person for heritage in a heritage organization in Hong Kong. So some of you, if you are going to Hong Kong to do your internship, then you will meet him. So so for the activity, what we should have first, we need to have interaction. Okay, we need to have interaction with the residents. At the same time, we need to have identity formation of tourists and residents. Give some identity. And last one, both tangible and intangible elements for the tour. So this is talking about what we should have for tourist activity. Of course, we need to have interaction with local. And then we should have identity formation, build up the identity, not only for the citizen, but also build up the identity for the tourist. And last one, gather some tangible and intangible elements in the tour. For example, tangible like Middle Cafe, Temple Street Market. Try to highlight what they are going to visit, what they are going to do in the tour. So the last one is to why we need to use the creative tourism, because we want to make our place to become a creative place. So this is the tour of Good Evening Kowloon. So you can see what they are doing here.
I miss you every single day. I give you sorrow. Oh, love you more than I can.
So why do they need to do such creative tour? Because they want, or else if you just visit on your own to Yau Ma Tei or to Jordan in Hong Kong, then you will think, this place is not suitable for us for teenagers, or this place is boring. But after you can see the tour here, the creative tour here, then you may find there are a lot of creative elements that we can find in Yau Ma Tei and Jordan. And then we can change our mind and rebrand the city image or the district image of Yau Ma Tei and Jordan. So this is the main purpose for using creative tour, that we can change the image of a place to a creative place. So what do they do for the tour? Like the combination of cultural life and local creative ecosystem, local community artists and creative travelers. So you can see in the video, the visitor buys some fruit from the local market. So this is from the local community. And then cultural regeneration accommodates social dynamics of community. So they are using some local restaurant accommodations in the local community, cultural practice, okay? Everyday cultural practice. They go to some cultural, they go to some local restaurant that the locals use every day, okay? So this is somehow everyday cultural practice and accommodate social dynamics. And last one, represent identity of the creative activities provided. For example, when the singer, okay, sing the song, you can find here, maybe you may think it is an old school song, right? But when the older generation listen to this music, listen to this song, then they will feel, we are in the same generation. So this is also create the place for representing identity for creative activity provider. He is not performing the music to the visitor only, but when he plays the music on their own, they will feel that this is the song for their generation. Okay. So yes. So now for the remaining time, you can keep discussing for the tour that we did just now, and then we may not have enough time today, but next Monday. Is it next Monday? We have, yeah. Next Monday we will spend maybe half an hour. We will spend 30 minutes, okay, to share your ideas next Monday. So it don't need to be a formal presentation, okay? You can just show your works here in point form. That's fine already. But try to sell your tour to your classmates, okay? So I think in your case, just think of one example is enough. Okay, think of one is enough, and you can type on the word. You can submit your work if you want. I can give you bonus points here. I will turn on the assignment submission link here. Yes, but we will do a small sharing next Monday. Share your idea. It can be creative. If your idea or if your content is creative, then I will give you higher points. Okay. Okay, so for the remaining 10 minutes, you can discuss with your classmates. And if you have any question, you can raise up your hand and ask me. Okay, so every group try to share your idea, and you need to show the documents on the computer, and then sell your package to your classmate. Okay, so please discuss with your classmate now. For your sharing, okay, 5 minutes. Okay, 5-minute sharing next Monday. Don't exceed 5 minutes. So everyone every group need to do the sharing next Monday. But if you want to submit your work documents, and it is optional, remember, you can ignore the submission, but at least every group need to do sharing next Monday. Okay, but if you submit the work documents for me, I can give you bonus point. Okay.
You are spreading the glory. How about even what is the purpose of the
Okay, so remember next Monday we will have a short sharing for around 5 minutes for your idea, and then if you want to get some bonus points, then please upload the documents on Moodle. Okay, so any questions for today? I found most of you get a really interesting story, an interesting choice on food. So let's see how creative you are next Monday. So thank you all of you, and I will see you all next Monday. See you.
你们组Leo 本来说要找，他也被压在下礼拜一，因为主要是他负责。我知道什么的，但是他我们可以办法能找到没有，还有其他的东西。那下个礼拜一，你们会以为2点的，我从来没来，对吗？你不是写多啊，还是写那个活动的 set。好，礼拜再看，不然就没有说完。换哪一个台湾的？台南两种产品，因为你记得你们有个英文选2个店，然后选它2个店里面它的其中一个产品就是可以选一个，好像有的都会。等一下，你们是 Group 5。对，我先关掉这个。这个，然后你们就选2个店 ，OK， 然后每个店肯定会有自己的 product， 无论是 service goods， 你们2个出来，然后呢，我们不是有讲那个那个叫 value chain 吗 ？creation、production 还有那个distribution， 你们就从这3个步骤上面分析每2种产品分成3个步骤，看它那个 heritage value 如何在它的产品里面展现。所以等于你要做6个大词，一个产品有3个 step， 就6个 step， 看看你想下 heritage value 如何在上面实现。比如说他一开始 creation 可能是他们想说那个石狮子 creation 的部分，然后那 production 的时候呢，他就可能只是用的那个 production 是制造的，然后他可能就用那个石头，但最后 distribution 就是在那个地方生产，就 distribution 是最好做，因为 distribution 肯定是在那个 heritage 里面，所以他就一定跟那个 heritage 都有一个联系。但是你们可能要想的是 creating version 的部分，但是那个产品跟那个 heritage 你们上面写的那个 heritage 有用到吗？你可以说完全没有用到，我觉得这也是一个 answer。但是有跟没有要对比，如果没有的话，你就说它的其他部分是额外创造的，跟这个上是完全没有。但如果你说有的话呢，你就告诉你自己，对，大概。一开始的部分呢，我不可以说你们写的不好，只是9 units of Japanese period which symbolize the Japanese occupational period。你从哪一个东西看得出来它是？因为你说它象征了 Japanese occupational period，
就是我们有去找那个去官网查之前那种，但是它上面就是有一类段是吧？
你们要再看一下，因为你说它 symbol 它肯定有一些要让你看得出来，
对对对，
你要找那个 symbol，但第三个是没有问题。然后 which order range how order 这个可以，因为它每个 part 肯定是 order 乱七八糟，那你这个可以把它再复制，但是你可以 drag 到东西。因为我发现第一个不关系，这个 earlier 就是对最早，这个可以变成 story，但是 Y machine 这个可以写，但是 Y machine 比较给就是图片，对对对，啊，这个就变得有点中性，没有那么比如说你上面不是说了这个 image， 你可以写出它现在的 computer 就是它孕育了多少天的这个是 computer。
哎，它其实还有一个那个，
那你也可以写进去，对，这个就是可以，可以写作，你要把它拆开，就是跟 touch 来这个就停 ，OK， 这个就是抛出来，然后你写一些例子，就是 friendship with attract people together， 这个是这个把它拆成了，因为它 attract people gather 的这个社交，这个就是social friend，这个是什么来着？
是你要我们解释就是为什么用这个方法？
但 try 跟 event 是什么？你说这个发生什么事情，然后变成那种那你要不要把这个 option 在移到前面？
可以。
对。那不然的话，我也介绍这个。为什么让你说 relocate 这个 factory 跟别的方法？如果你有涉及到 relocate 选址搬的话呢，那肯定是 locate 更好。因为如果你帮OK， 然后就是说physical 跟 image 要想一下，因为 physical 是它有危险，它会挡。但如果它是不好看，因为air race 的话呢，我怕你们是写那个外观就是掉颜色啊，那个没有危险。
我会解释，但是它确实挺危险。
OK， 如果你就是你要想清楚是有没有危险性这个 physical， 没有危险性的 image。function 的话应该是在一个地方。Why reconstitution？ 为什么是就是？
因为它是差异，就是你要做这个基础上，因为它是当时这个高粱的这个基础。它只是改造的，然后它销量。
OK， 那么如果你要不要把它写成销量，变成 financial？ 因为以前卖不出去，那你现在改了那个机器之后，就变成 financial， 因为它变得卖得出去，然后就变成多的收益，这样也可以。你方面没有问题，但是你要不要写一下 functional 如何是 operator， 这样就会多。 懂你的意思，但是 official 的话是它没有符合某一些法律，就是保护的，就是说你安全。它应该你可以写，但是你要写哪一个政策
那这个算哪个
？official，
也算
如果有涉及到政策，
哦
因为防火那边也是政策要求，那个就是 official，但是你没有写出来。
那我要比较
我懂你的意思，因为政府想要改政策上的改变，想要重新用这个地方，所以你 official 跟 functional 我都懂，但是你这个 reconstitution 你要不要再想一下，是不是 reconstitution？
是什么呢？
因为如果因为 functional 的话呢，就是关于用途上，因为政府怎么去提升它的那个价值，改到那边，其中的就是改到它的用途。如果改用途的话，就改在 use， 或者商业的因为 reconstitution 你不能说完全说你错，
这个模糊这个调整，同样
对
写的都可
对
以。
所以因为 reconstitution 这个字本来就比较模糊，所以我不能完全可以错，只是
那我们就具体一点。
你可以写 reconstitution， 但是你下面写比较清晰，因为那个词不像那个 restoration 啊，或者是restoration 就很明确，所以你就要把，如果你用一个这么模糊的 title 的话呢，下面就不然如果你用 restoration 像这个的话，你下面我大概就可以 OK 的，可以看到。Physical。
我觉得这个其实并没有什么太的损坏，它只是能力为历史线，
那就不用，
这个不是。
或是你把这个提到上面这里说明，这是方面有答案，这很明显的方，因为它本来是 distributory 嘛，如果成，然后变成那个 creative 很明显这个方面。
我这个楼是地，但是如果是
原地方的话就是，或者是这个方。
如果单说
OK，如果它是提地方的话，肯定是9个。但是如果你单纯的，因为我看这边嘛，是单纯说它本来是酒厂，后来变成了 creative park，就是用途上改变，就这个方式。所以你这3个的关系你要。
但如果它是酒厂，那它自己的然后再去所以说是说它这个
可以分成2个，第一个就是酒厂的出现 location 的问题，它把到 reconstitution 或者是移种，但是第二个就是它改用这个原本的地方改用，这个就是方法，所以你可以把它拆成年份的话，我觉得我看你年份这边好像把你框住的，你好像每一个事情就变一个年份单独一个好出来，但其实我刚刚跟你讲，它单种可以是一个好出来，它重新规划，它可能是1.8的数量，可能是2，对，你的方向是很好。是你们现在的要改的地方，就是细微的地方如何变成一个 A 的OK， 这个才是应有的态度哦。